Brought to you by Praxis Sports, the unified platform helping sports organizations manage communication, scheduling, and operations in one place. Learn more at praxisports.com.
There's a leisurely lunch with friends. And then there's a 7-course gourmet tasting lunch with 7 perfect wine pairings aboard a fully restored 1915 Pullman rail car as it floats past rolling hills and rows of vines stretching out as far as the eye can see. Napa Valley. Live a little, or a lot.
Brought to you by Praxis Sports, the unified platform helping sports organizations manage communication, scheduling, and operations in one place. Learn more at praxisports.com.
There's a leisurely lunch with friends. And then there's a 7-course gourmet tasting lunch with 7 perfect wine pairings aboard a fully restored 1915 Pullman rail car as it floats past rolling hills and rows of vines stretching out as far as the eye can see. Napa Valley. Live a little, or a lot.
Brought to you by Praxis Sports, the unified platform helping sports organizations manage communication, scheduling, and operations in one place. Learn more at praxisports.com.
There's a leisurely lunch with friends. And then there's a 7-course gourmet tasting lunch with 7 perfect wine pairings aboard a fully restored 1915 Pullman rail car as it floats past rolling hills and rows of vines stretching out as far as the eye can see. Napa Valley. Live a little, or a lot.
Brought to you by Praxis Sports, the unified platform helping sports organizations manage communication, scheduling, and operations in one place. Learn more at praxisports.com.
There's a leisurely lunch with friends. And then there's a 7-course gourmet tasting lunch with 7 perfect wine pairings aboard a fully restored 1915 Pullman rail car as it floats past rolling hills and rows of vines stretching out as far as the eye can see. Napa Valley. Live a little, or a lot.
Brought to you by Praxis Sports, the unified platform helping sports organizations manage communication, scheduling, and operations in one place. Learn more at praxisports.com.
There's a leisurely lunch with friends. And then there's a 7-course gourmet tasting lunch with 7 perfect wine pairings aboard a fully restored 1915 Pullman rail car as it floats past rolling hills and rows of vines stretching out as far as the eye can see. Napa Valley. Live a little, or a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to MC at midfield from Stockton University. Dylan Petke. The head coach of Atlantic City FC is Andrew Catalana, assisted by Chad Catalana and goalkeeper coach Gio Paz. And now the starting 11 for Real Central New Jersey. Starting in goal from Gettysburg College, number 0, Topher Kelly. On defense from Muhlenberg College, number 2, Chris Turnbull. At midfield from Binghamton University, number 3, Jasper Cox. At forward from Swarthmore College, number 4, Nick Matisse. On defense from Francis Marion University, number 5, Santiago Lopez. At midfield, number 6, Nathan Linden. At forward from Ursinus College, 77, Nick Crippa. At midfield from Dickinson College, number 11, Rowan Harrington. At midfield from Rosemont College, number 10, Sean Mullally. At midfield, number 23, Warwin Zador. And at forward from Utah State Eastern University, number 27, Ibrahim Faye. The head coach of Real Central New Jersey Soccer is Chris Corridon, joined by Ira Jersey. At this time, we ask everyone to please rise if you are able and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to Mercer County Community College for a League for Clubs matchup between the host Real Central New Jersey and the visitors in Atlantic City FC. Welcome into today's broadcast. I'm Drosmas Gervasilio. Alongside me is Brett Gardner, and we have a fun one here today because Real Central won 1-3 on this season, just a win to show for their 5 matches in their first season in the League for Clubs. Meanwhile, Atlantic City FC, they're coming in red hot.
Of course, we knew coming into the season that Real Central would have some growing pains in this new league. but today they face their biggest task against Atlantic City FC. They are 4-0 in 4-0 in their conference, and they do not have a problem getting the ball in the net. And it's going to be a fast-paced game.
With 4 points, Atlantic City FC 9 in the entire conference with 12 points. A win for them today would put them ahead of everyone in the Northeast Conference. So this is a big game for Atlantic City FC that truly proved that they are the team to beat in this conference. Meanwhile, Real Central, they've shown some promise, just can't seem to find the right results at the right times. But in their previous game on Sunday against FC Monmouth, they were able to work a draw thanks to Rowan Harrington's equalizer late in the match.
Yes, certainly. We saw their defense stand strong in that game as well. Monmouth had plenty of opportunities to score in that game. We saw great goalkeeping and great defense from Real Central FC. But we're going to see how they fare today against Atlantic City FC's high-powered offense, as Atlantic City has a lot to play for today, as you mentioned just earlier, that for the top seed in their conference. We're going to see how Real Central fares. They're going to have to rely a lot on their playmakers today.
Absolutely, as looks like Real Central finds their shape, rocking with the 4-3-3. As you'll see, Sean Millelli, the center of attention, the captain, in the center. Atlantic City FC will now take their shape, a 4-4-2 diamond. And we'll see how effective it is here today. Lots of talent on this Atlantic City FC team. We were talking about it a little bit beforehand, but the New Jersey Athletic Conference, the Division III conference in New Jersey, a lot of the top-tier performers from that conference here today playing for the boys in white. And here they are as we get things kicked off here from MCC Soccer Stadium. Again, a Northeast Conference South Divisional matchup between Atlantic City FC and Real Central New Jersey. Things will start in the back four for Atlantic City FC. It's going to be these early 10 minutes or so that's going to really dictate which team will probably find their way on top.
One of the keys of today's game for Real Central is to disrupt these transitions for Atlantic City FC. They get the ball downfield efficiently. And Real
Fay. One back by Atlantic City FC. A nice move made as Andrew Hyel is starting to make his presence known up top. We'll have another throw. McNamee to take. He'll give it off to Wakacha.
Nick Matisse, one of those players Real Central FC is going to have to rely on heavily in these defensive possessions.
They're going for the long throw. Wakacha nearly turns that into a corner. Taken back. Here comes Real Central and Ibrahim Faye. Plays it across field, looking for Grippa, taken down. And the call will be made, and not just that. We're only a few minutes into this match. We already have our first caution.
Great play by Faye there to get that.
So Matthew Will. He'll play it short for Matisse. Now here's Turnbull. Turnbull looks ahead, takes a deflection, as it was Andrew Hyel with the challenge. Millelli tried to turn away. Hyel continues to be physical. That time it goes off of a white kit, so we'll go the other way. Jasper Cox caught in a jam, but Real Central able to get it out to their stud center back in Santiago Lopez. Kelly plays it wide. Down the line again, Fay. Thought he had someone centrally, just couldn't find the right man. Owen Sador up top for Real Central today, and we've seen Daniil Caban be that type of guy for Real Central, be really productive in that area. Today, Zador will take the reins.
And you're seeing already how physical Atlantic City FC is being on these rides and these transitions. Real Central's going to have to match their physicality down the stretch of this game.
And it looks as though they're trying to listen to you here. Brett, as Zador goes down, and they are going to. Doesn't look like a card this time, but still. The attacking third. Again, a tall, physical center back for Real Central, and Atlantic City taking their shape, holding a firm line.
One to look for is in the middle here.
The delivery from Malelli. Grippa couldn't get ahead to it, still in the 18. Zador, the volley, takes a deflection, and diving onto it, supposedly as it rolls out of his reach. Ryan Maroney couldn't get a hold of that one. Still, Atlantic City FC able to transition. More by 6th minute of action. And to our count, the fourth kick already for Real Central. Maybe some foreshadowing to what we'll see later on in this match. Again, like you kind of mentioned, Brett, some shoulder-to-shoulder action.
Yeah, against a team like Atlantic City FC, they're going to really have to establish themselves, especially in FC's own territory here.
Fay trying to work out of it. Turnbull plays it through the middle. Finds Rowan Harrington. Here's Heil again. Draws some defenders, can't split through. Here comes Harrington the other way. Has some space. This one just gets away. Again, here's Ryan Maroney, the St. Joe's keeper. For a Real Central throw-in. A busy week of soccer for Real Central New Jersey here at Mercer County Community College. A doubleheader on Sunday, a game tonight, a game tomorrow, and a game the next day. So lots of Real Central coming your way.
Real Central's going to have to be constantly communicating and moving on the field. Atlantic City FC has a really sticky defense.
The last time these two teams matched up was on June 3rd, a 2-1 win, a tight one, but Atlantic City FC took that match at their home field, which was at Stockton University, which some of these players reside, including Ochichi Wakacha, who's been active. Leary plays the ball through the middle. Finds feet for now. McNamee tried to play quickly, but intercepted. Takes a tumble, no call there. Fay. Bocacha plays it wide. Comes the cross, takes the deflection. We'll have our first corner of the match here, Brett. We'll go to the far side, and we'll see what Atlantic City FC has in store.
Yeah, Nathan Linden and Nick Matisse playing great defense early on, disrupting these passes that Atlantic City FC is trying to get downfield in their transitions. It's going to be a corner kick for Atlantic City FC here, but a great sign from Real Central defense. See how they respond to this corner kick.
McNamee will be the taker. Also wearing the captain's armband for Atlantic City FC. The Rowan University product. Here comes the end swinger. Going far post, no one home. And Real Central will just let it go.
Tried to get that corner kick up to Luke McNamee there, number 23 for Atlantic City FC. Just a little too high, went over the entire pile. Good outcome from Real Central.
Nick Matisse. Back to Gettysburg's Topher Kelly. Nice ball down the middle. Harrington with the header. One in the books right now. So definitely need to be careful. Not going down to 10 men this early on in the match.
Certainly not. And you can hear Real Central's FC goalkeeper Topher Kelly's voice from up here in the booth. He's going to be doing a lot of communicating here. Atlantic City FC does a lot of passing when they have the offensive possession in Real Central territory. That's going to be another defensive key Real Central's going to have to focus on.
Will plays it for Tando. Tando falls. And here comes a free kick. Sometimes that does the trick.
Certainly. Another great opportunity here.
McNamee sends it in. A decent ball headed up by Lopez.
Maybe a little less power would have went in, but great shot, great vision there by Atlantic City FC.
Not too long ago, we saw the United States men's national team's Gio Reyna do that in a World Cup match. Again, the World Cup taking over a lot of our lives this week.
Trying to borrow a little bit of that magic, certainly.
There's magic of that at all levels, and here comes what we thought would be another attack, but Zador had other intentions. Turnbull, his pass intercepted. We're going back and forth. The back heel. Here comes Danelli, but that one cleared out.
Looking for Matthew Will in the center there. Just a little bit behind the ball. Real Central gets a break.
Aiden Donnelly up top for Atlantic City FC, also a St. Tried to send it down, but Petke, the one in the way. Wakacha has some space to work with. Looks like he's playing that holding midfielder role as he does at Stockton. Turning and facing Andrew Heil. Nice defense from Cox. Physical presence there on the far side. Grippa nearly had a shot at net. I think some defenders along with Ryan Maroney of Atlantic City FC did enough to distract them.
Great vision there by Jasper Cox to send that ball downfield for Grippa. Grippa had the speed to get to it, but Atlantic City FC had 3 defenders around the ball. Missed opportunity there.
Probably one of the first times we've seen a through ball pay off in this match. 15th minute of play, 0-0 is currently the score. Okay, Atlantic City FC trying to keep their unbeaten streak alive here in the league for clubs.
Right now, Real Central's not backing down. They're matching their physicality, matching their pace of play. That's very important here, especially as we get into the late minutes.
Cleary going from back 4 to attacking 4. Now McNamee. Out wide, McNamee tries to move on Fay. And Fay does well. Turnbull down the line. Zador. Couldn't find feet on that pass. Sean Boyle plays it for Cassidy Tando.
And just disrupting these offensive possessions for Real Central. Not Real Central. Sorry, Atlantic City FC is very important because although they're not completing the transitions, they're sending a clear message that their defense is bending but not breaking.
It's certainly been that kind of match so far. Both defenses holding their own. Matt Will chips it inside, looking for Donnelly, just out of his reach. to connect. And Real Central was really the first ones to be able to connect on one of those type of opportunities with the previous attempt we saw with Nicholas Grippa.
Great touch there.
The flick taken, and Cleary with a sweet move to play it to his team. Now Matthew Will. Matt Will still going atop the 18. Looking for a window. Plays the through ball. Aiden Donnelly. Offsides. The ruling. A nice turn from Petke. Plays it wide. Now another through ball played on the far side. Tando plays it across the shot. Just curled offline, and again it's Matthew Will, who's been very involved early.
Yeah, he's flying around the field. Him and Dylan Petke have been all over the field for Atlantic City FC. Always near the ball on offense and defense.
Real Central New Jersey need to find a way to once again progress ahead.
It's like a chess match. Slowly inching their way upfield. Then you have the counter by Atlantic City FC. And the ball's going in the stands.
You got to wonder when one day the ball will enter our press box here. We have open windows.
Well, if that had a little more power, I think it would have went in.
In the home matches I've done, it's the closest it's been. But Wakancha now plays it to his right. It's Matthew Will. Will splits with defenders, but can't find the frame once more.
Another instance there of just a little too much power by Matthew Will. He's gotten those opportunities plenty of times already in this game. We're not even 25 minutes in, but he just needs to get a little more touch on the ball if he wants to go in.
Linden, defended by Will. Lopez. '21st minute, still no score, but we've certainly seen the chances from both sides. The long ball. Headed back into Real Central's half. McNamee has space. Faye's on his back, tugging on him. Able to play out of it is McNamee, now Andrew Heil. Petke switches. Looking for Cassidy Tando. Tando from St. Joe's. Matthew Will turns, has decent pace.
Good slide.
And like you said, a great tackle. It was Grippa as well, who, he plays up top at the wing, but sometimes you got to respect the wingers and the attackers that decide to come back and help you out defensively.
That's a good example of pursuit, something Real Central is really going to have to do well on defense. They're going to always need to be around the ball here.
McNamee. Played in a opportunity in front of net. No call made. Still with Atlantic City FC for the time being. Wakancha. His touches can't win possession. Petke. McNamee on the wing, who's also been having numerous touches with the ball. That one gets by Matthew Will on the far side. Jesper Cox and Will fighting for it.
A lot of hand fight.
Well, Matt Will wins that fight. Still going. Crossover. Shot attempt. Saved by Kelly Stewart for the net. Was one of those instances where you got to say they live to see another day, and that's the first time that Any ball is found in the back of the net, but still offsides. It was Evan Villaboy with the attempt. And also for Villaboy, transferring over to Rowan from Marist next year.
Got a sub here coming in for Real Central.
Yeah, it looks like Santiago Lopez is making way, and that can't be a good sign, especially considering he's probably your top center back. But the entry is going to be Enrique Porras Jr.
See Matthew Will there.
Your attention, please.
Going to the sideline, then coming back out.
Real Central New
Looks like he's talking to his coach. Now he's getting water. He's been all over the ball so far for Atlantic City FC.
And before we resume action, let's get another look at this. What we thought would be the opening goal, just offsides, but you still got to give credit to Villaboy for crashing the net. We resume play. Our first substitution of the match, Santiago Lopez out, and Enrique Porras Jr. in. Malele. Tando. Here's Cleary.
Real Central just really needs to settle in on defense here. Need to be constantly communicating, watching the ball, switching between men. Because Atlantic City FC is always swinging the ball around the field, trying to get any openings they can.
Andrew Heil beats Fay for now. Still has one more defender to beat as Fay recovers. And that's deflected out for a corner here in the 26th minute. Atlantic City FC will have another try at net. It looks like it will be Heil to take from the near side. McNamee took the previous corner. That was from the other end of the pitch.
Atlantic City FC is going to look for Wakocha here in the center of the pile. Probably their tallest player on the team.
That one toward the near post. A good clearance, but still with Petke. Petke has space. Petke sails that one into a place that's not the back of the net. But a decent attempt at that, and one you probably want to take if you want to keep applying pressure on Real Central.
I think that initial kick off the corner was really straight. I think Atlantic City FC was looking for them to get the rebounds back to their player on offense.
And here's Grippa and Real Central on the counter.
Ooh.
But some really good defense from Tando, and Grippa frustrated. He couldn't beat him. Played back. Andrew Heil. Stops on a dime, plays it for Cleary, who has eyes towards the opposite end of the pitch. Tando couldn't get a touch, slaps over, and Porras Jr. will be able to gallop over and take possession back. Another long ball. Harrington try to play it lightly off the chest, and the one back possession, a handball looks like against Atlantic City.
You can see Aiden Donnelly there, always back there when Real Central's about to clear the ball, always disrupting these passes. His pursuit's been great. So Real Central had to sort of rush it out of there. Lucky that they got the ball back.
Nearly nearing the half-hour mark of this match. And still 0-0. Again, Atlantic City FC, they are not afraid when it comes to scoring goals, but again, the last time they played Real Central was just a 2-1 game at their home park. Linden. Plays it across field. Matisse. Trying to play it for a pacing Turnbull, but McNamee was ready. Villaboy plays it centrally. And now here comes Zador. On the other end, here's Harrington! Who would have thought Real Central would be the first to capitalize? Rowan Harrington make it back-to-back games, 2 consecutive, with a goal. 1-0, Real Central, New Jersey.
Atlantic City FC was focused on number 23, Zador, sprinting downfield for the ball. That drew 2 defenders inside.
And let's take another look at this one, folks. A great finish by, of course, Rowan Harrington, but you got to give immense credit, as you were saying, to Wawan Zador and what he was able to do on this possession.
Yeah, you could see Zador flying down there. He drew two Atlantic City FC defenders in towards him while he was sprinting towards the ball. There was a deflection that sort of pushed the ball to the left towards where Harrington just so happened to be, and he took advantage, sending that right into the right side of the post.
And what a way for Real Central New Jersey to activate the scoreboard, if you will. 1-0.
Real Central New Jersey.
And Atlantic City, who have been the aggressors, again, unbeaten to this point in 4 matches played.
Number 11, Rowan Harrington.
Dylan Petke plays it to the near side. Wakacha
Number 23, Rowan.
plays it into the box. A header now to Villaboy. Kelly contests. It's being batted around. Here's another header. Kelly, excellent work. If you're watching it from a Real Central perspective.
What a play by Topher Kelly there. Really coming in clutch for Real Central. Nick Matisse fell down right in front of him. He sort of had to catch that over him, then bang it back out, and it was headed towards the goal again, where he then had to go over another Atlantic City FC defender to get it back.
And nearly another goal-scoring opportunity for Real Central New Jersey. Andrew Heil, as Atlantic City FC look for a quick response, especially in a match where they have dominated possession and chances as well. Matt Will goes right. Can't cross it in, but knocking it over the goal line, Enrique Porras Jr. So now a corner. Looks like McNamee will take this one.
Here's another opportunity for Atlantic City FC. Here's their 3rd corner kick of the day. All of them pretty unsuccessful so far. But you can almost sense that they sort of feel the weight of their of the lead for Real Central here. They're going to have to respond.
Well, the talent that's on Atlantic City FC, they're going to be hard to put away. Here's the header from Cleary. Who charged in, and that was a really good-looking opportunity.
Yeah, just up to the left of the goal post would have been an amazing play by Clearly. He sort of jumped over the entire pile there to head the ball just left.
Malali. Some heavy pressure coming from Atlantic City FC. Here comes Wakacha. Turnbull unable to keep it in play. It was a tough view from our vantage point, but nevertheless a throw-in coming for Atlantic City FC as the pressure they applied pays off.
Great play by Wakacha there to force the turnover. Great pursuit. Disrupt the pass. This is for Real Central.
Dylan Pepke. For Sean Boyle. Boyle, another St. Joe's product. This one being hit back and forth almost like a volleyball match.
Right back the other way.
Fay brings it down. Turnbull the clearance. Harrington tries to settle. And has help from his opponent Wakacha. Now down the line, here comes Grippa again. A lot of their attacks for Real Central have really started with him. Fortunately for them, it goes last off his boot.
Denied there by Sean Boyle. Grippa was pursuing the ball. Boyle gave him a little bump, causing the ball to go out. Grippa was last to touch it.
Cleary. A driven ball
Good
to
find.
McNamee. A really good find. That one can't find Billboy. Fay. Stripped of possession. Here's Heil. A nice scissor move. Splits defenders. A 1-2 with Villaboy. Here comes Heil down the line. And a sliding tackle. Perfectly timed from Nick Matisse.
Atlantic City FC just has so much speed all around the field, especially on these transitions. We saw Heil there splitting 3 defenders to get the FC's always trying to get the ball to either Hale down the left side or Matthew Will on the right side. Definitely don't want Matthew Will to get any momentum going into Real Central territory.
I mean, right now, Brett, a lot of things are going Real Central's way. They were able to find the opener, scoring first against a top-ranked Atlantic City FC squad. But then also 2 offsides that were goals. And you got to hope if you're Atlantic City FC that doesn't distract you from the prize ahead, which is trying to get back into this game.
And those are mistakes that Atlantic City FC doesn't make that often. You know, they don't really have a problem in their past games getting the ball in goal. They score 3 goals or 5 goals at a time. But right now, Real Central's disrupting any momentum they get on offense, even though I'd say Atlantic City FC definitely has had more offensive possessions than Real Central so far this game. They aren't making the most of it compared to Real Central's. Whenever they get down there, they're this close to scoring. We saw earlier Harrington was able to put in the goal off of a clear.
It looks as though Real Central really putting an emphasis on those counter attacks. So you kind of alluded to there, Brett, and it's working mightily, and that's usually how a team has to play when they're fighting against a team that can possess, like an Atlantic City FC squad. But now here's Linden just trying to send this one in. And it goes, and Cleary gets ahead to it.
Clearly getting up there again.
He's not a any sort of danger.
Just forcing Atlantic City FC to reset is a huge win for Real Central whenever they're down in their own territory. Trying to wear this Atlantic City FC offense out. He clears it again.
'40th minute, 1-0 game. Rowan Harrington, the goal scorer for Real Central. A long switch of fields. A one-timing pass from McNamee. Can't find a white kit. Said it's with the red and black.
If Donnelly went for that, he would have been offsides. Smart play. Learn from your mistakes.
You got to think that's an adjustment he has to make, considering he's done it twice. Now here's the door. It's the door. A heavy tackle. No call made as the head official says all ball, but they'll be awarded a corner nevertheless.
Yeah, we were talking about earlier, these two teams are playing very physical. The referee seems to be letting them play it out. It's a good sign for Real Central FC to be matching their physicality, a team you have to do against a team as good as Atlantic City FC. Has been down chasing those clear balls a lot today.
Jasper Cox will take this one for Real Central New Jersey. And looks like we'll have a stoppage here. Some pushing and shoving near the goal line.
Little
Looks like Ibrahim Faye trying to get in front of the keeper. Tando is there, Cassidy Tando, to kind of keep him away from Ryan Maroney.
Trying to protect their goalie.
That's exactly that. Another header from Cleary.
Once again.
Wins those 50-50 balls in the air quite often. But now Matt Will. Here's a counter attempt in the making. We'll see if it ends up becoming something. Heil. Played back. Bakacha looks both ways, decides to go right. Tando for Wakacha. Wakacha sends this one into the far post. Villaboy and McNamee. Again, the offsides flag is up. So it wouldn't have mattered.
Another instance there. Little mistakes will cost you. Good play by Topher Kelly there, stepping up, intercepting that pass before it got centered in the middle of the field.
Cassidy Tando being pressured from Harrington. Villaboy plays it for Boyle. Has space. Now for Matthew Will. Will sends it in. Villaboy's there, but a nice header to knock it off trajectory. That one from Matisse. All right, beg your pardon. That was Turnbull with the sweep play. Now on the far side, it's Tando. Low on time is Atlantic City FC to make a play happen. Will. Matt Will plays it back. And that will do it for our first half of action. 1-0 the score. Rowan Harrington with the goal. Real Central New Jersey with a very impressive showing against one of the NorthEast Conference top giants at this moment. 12 points, tied second in the conference, and Real Central playing like they're neck and neck with them, even though they're lower in the standings.
Certainly, if we had a time of possession clock, we would see it heavily in favor of Atlantic City FC, but they just haven't been able to capitalize on Real Central territory. But when Real Central gets the ball and Atlantic City territory, they've been able to capitalize on these clear balls. They're able to score with Harrington there, as we saw midway through the first half. I just have to give a great shout out to Topher Kelly, who's been playing a great game as goalkeeper. He's been intercepting passes, getting up in the air, putting his body on the line.
Result at this point. 1-0 is your score in favor of Real Central New Jersey. We will be right back here.
Brought to you by Praxis Sports, the unified platform helping sports organizations manage communication, scheduling, and operations in one place. Learn more at praxisports.com.
There's a leisurely lunch with friends. And then there's a 7-course gourmet tasting lunch with 7 perfect wine pairings aboard a fully restored 1915 Pullman rail car as it floats past rolling hills and rows of vines stretching out as far as the eye can see. Napa Valley. Live a little, or a lot.
Brought to you by Praxis Sports, the unified platform helping sports organizations manage communication, scheduling, and operations in one place. Learn more at praxisports.com.
There's a leisurely lunch with friends. And then there's a 7-course gourmet tasting lunch with 7 perfect wine pairings aboard a fully restored 1915 Pullman rail car as it floats past rolling hills and rows of vines stretching out as far as the eye can see. Napa Valley. Live a little, or a lot.
Brought to you by Praxis Sports, the unified platform helping sports organizations manage communication, scheduling, and operations in one place. Learn more at praxisports.com.
There's a leisurely lunch with friends. And then there's a 7-course gourmet tasting lunch with 7 perfect wine pairings aboard a fully restored 1915 Pullman rail car as it floats past rolling hills and rows of vines stretching out as far as the eye can see. Napa Valley. Live a little, or a lot.
Northwestern Mutual proudly offers holistic style financial guidance across wealth, risk, and business planning. They also offer a top 10 internship program for your student athletes. Applications are now open for the summer of 2027, and the agency is growing rapidly with 6 locations across central New Jersey and eastern PA. Hiring for full-time positions and seeking motivated individuals who want to build their own financial planning practice with the support of their Fortune 500 team. For more information, please contact Michaela Rafferty.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you back to Mercer County Community College for this Northeast Conference South Divisional matchup in the league for clubs between the hosts, Real Central New Jersey, who lead 1-0 over the visitors, and Atlantic City FC, who come into this match 4 games unbeaten in 4 matches played. Gerasimus Gervasilou alongside Brett Gardner here in the booth right now here at MCCC Soccer Stadium. And so far in that first half, I think what we experienced, Brett, was a Real Central team that didn't look at the standings. They looked at the opponent on the pitch, and they decided to put pedal to the metal.
Well, certainly, Real Central coming into this game, they knew they had to make less mistakes in Atlantic City FC. Atlantic City FC is a team that has a lot of firepower, have been putting up a lot of goals in all of their games. Real Central knew they had to make a lot of stands defensively, a lot of great goalkeeping by Topher Kelly in the first half. They're going to have to continue that in the second half, because at any moment this Atlantic City FC team can explode onto the scene, scoring goal after goal. They're going to have good pursuit and disrupting the transitions.
There was a halftime substitution. Real Central, they decided to give Ibrahim Faye the rest of the day off, and Connor Campbell is the player to enter for Real Central.
Checking in, number 15, Connor Campbell.
Connor Campbell, who plays for TCNJ.
Ibrahim Faye.
And for Ibrahim Faye, I mean, we could say this, Brett, he definitely provided a decent spark on that right side of the pitch for Real Central at times, and probably just putting some fresh legs on that wing to make sure it stays that way. But now Atlantic City FC, the aggressors early, as that shot is sent all the way to Atlantic City.
Yeah, I believe Donnelly wanted to get the ball back to his, or not Donnelly. It looked like it was Hale there, sending it over the fence. Tried to strike early, but yeah, as you were mentioning, Faye and Zador were just always down there on those clear balls by Real Central, and they're clearing it now. Putting a lot of work in there, and that's how it led to Real Central's first goal, as Zador centered it for Rowan Harrington, that led to Real Central's lead.
Zador unable to keep it in, and in the meantime knocks over a friendly sign here on the near side, but we'll have a quick throw for Atlantic City FC. Linden was shaken up a few moments ago as well.
Looks like that sign's going to stay down for the rest of the... Yep.
Oh, no, we have some help over here.
And we're starting this half off with an Atlantic City FC offensive possession. They had the ball in Real Central territory for the majority of the game.
Donnelly to the middle. Matt Will chasing after it. Tried to make that run in the box, just couldn't reach it. Harrington. Again, the lone goal scorer today. 2 consecutive games with a goal for Real Central as well. Scored late in the match on Sunday against MC Monmouth to give his squad a draw.
One of the most consistent offensive players for Real Central, Rowan Harrington, has a knack for getting down there and finding the goal.
Here's Stockton's Ochichi Wakacha. Down the far side, here comes Andrew Heil. Loses possession, some back and forth. No fouls, it's all ball for now. Heil now enters the 18. Played for Matt Will. Caught in a jam. Tried to poke it out to Evan Villaboy, but Real Central diligently keep able to win possession, or at least knock it out of the danger zone. So here comes now another throw for Luke McNamee.
Another reset offensively for Atlantic City FC as well. A lot of great defense being played by players like Nick Matisse and Turnbull down there for Real Central. And a lot of physicality at that. Atlantic City FC, a lot of shouldering, a lot of elbowing early on in this second half.
Harrington. Played back for Campbell. Played down the right far touchline, but that one, you know, we've seen some tight offsides calls. That one, not the toughest decision.
But that also means they're so close to being onside, sort of a double-edged sword. They're so close, just a step ahead from having a clean onside and a good opportunity to score. As his door was down there again, trying to get ahead of it.
We mentioned in the first half, Daniil Caban, the typical starting striker for Real Central. Not active today, but Wawan Sador has definitely shown that he can take the role. He had the assist on the goal with Harrington. And here's a volley toward the right foot post. Goes wide. It's a really decent attempt. That one coming from Andrew Heil.
Atlantic City FC is always either working the ball to Heil or Matthew Will. You definitely don't want to see Matthew Will get head of steam coming down towards Real Central territory. He's probably the fastest player on that Atlantic City FC team. And Heil, we've seen him have plenty of power behind his shot. Here's Topher Kelly here, clear the ball out. He's had a great game so far.
He truly has, and you mentioned Matt Will, the TCNJ player, probably knows Connor Campbell on Real Central. Linden skies it to clear it off the back line.
Ooh. A lot of NJAC players playing on this field right now. This definitely won't be the last time they see each other this year.
Well, this is the second time they've seen each other in the League for Clubs. Again, we mentioned it also in the first half, a 2-1 win at Stockton University, the home of Atlantic City FC. A 2-1 win on June 3rd. Fast forward to today, June 17th, and these two sides battle once again, except Real Central the hosts, but that cross for McNamee sails out of play.
Yeah, Atlantic City FC having a lot of shots in the first half, and they're continuing that trend here early in the second. Shooting the ball a lot, missing a lot as well, as it either is going high or wide of the post. But just shooting the ball sends a message to Real Central that they're not afraid to pull the trigger if they see even the smallest of windows.
Well, they took advantage on that one possession. It looks like an offsides call made. Seems as if Evan Villaboy started in an offside position, then became onside in an instant, but didn't fool the assistant referee here on the near side of the pitch. Real Central plays short. Nathan Linden receiving some pressure. Again, Atlantic City FC has applied a lot of pressure since allowing that first goal. It's knocked out of play for another throw.
Yeah, and Real Central has been responding to that physicality and pressure with physicality and pressure of their own, as Atlantic City FC has been very physical, knocking Real Central players over all the time in the first half, but Real Central is not backing down, as they're matching the intensity of this high-powered Atlantic City FC team.
That pass just out of reach of McNamee, and you can see the frustration. Probably a sloppy game considering the past performances this team has had. And you know, we could start with the first matchup they played against FC Monmouth Atlantic City FC, 3-0 victory, a 5-1 victory the following game, and then came that 2-1 win against Real Central, and then their previous matchup with Kensington SC on the road, a 4-3 win. So the least amount of goals they scored in a match so far this year was against the boys in red and black here on the pitch today.
Good play.
And that one cleared off.
And as you were just mentioning, Atlantic City FC, as you were reading off those scores there, they put the ball in goal a lot. So a game like this, where they haven't scored yet this game going into the second half, very uncharacteristic. They've been making a lot of uncharacteristic mistakes here, offsides calls, a lot of shots that are going over the post. You know, they have to clean it up here, because Real Central, even though their record isn't nearly as good as Atlantic City FC's, they're coming in this game with a fire that Atlantic City has yet to match.
And you could probably credit some of that fire coming from that 1-1 draw they had on Sunday, which, again, courtesy of the late equalizer. Not a win, but still one that probably gives your team lots of momentum going into the next few matchups. But McNamee's cross, an in-swinger. Here's the header toward net. Hits the side of the netting, and Atlantic City FC is going to want that one back, especially Aiden Donnelly, who has been all over the place inside the box. You might as well call him a fox in the box.
And we saw in the first half, he actually did almost score a goal with a header that was called back by an offsides that we've mentioned Atlantic City FC is committing a lot so far that they don't usually.
He's also had a lot of those headers. He scored a fantastic header in the first half, but he was called offside. You got to wonder when one of those headers will count for Real, and maybe how long Real Central can hold off Donnelly. Cassidy Tando looking for the right play here for the throw-in. A nice turn from Villaboy. Plays a long lofted pass to McNamee on the far side. McNamee, short pass, not enough juice on it though. Interception coming from Connor Campbell. Campbell plays it wide for Jasper Cox. Cuts back.
Great play by Connor Campbell there, eating up a lot of ground pursuing the ball. Is able to single-handedly clear downfield. And that's the hustle you really love to see for Real Central New Jersey.
And as we look at possession on the far side of the pitch, you can notice the first substitution of the match coming very shortly for Atlantic City FC. Long ball played wide for Villaboy, but can't reach it. And looks like we'll have those two players enter right now.
And this is where we get to the part of the game where Atlantic City FC is playing very aggressively. And they start to feel the fatigue of trying to catch up to Real Central. What you want to do for Real Central New Jersey right now is just play smart defense. Don't be overly aggressive. Let Atlantic City FC keep making the same mistakes they've been making all game. Really trying to have that bend, don't break mentality for Real Central New Jersey's defense.
Matt Will, who we saw enter the books literally in the second minute of this match. One of the players exiting is Nicholas Grippa with a head of steam. And some contact there, and speaking of that yellow card, Grippa was the one that drew it in the first half on Matt Will, and now here comes another yellow card. Grippa forcing another one to come out of the pocket.
Grippa slow to get up there. Immediately went grabbing his knee as he fell to the ground.
Your
We
attention,
mentioned the
please.
physicality in this game.
A caution has been issued by the referee.
I believe
to
within 5
Atlantic
minutes
City
of the game,
Football
there was a
Club.
yellow card
Number
awarded to
21,
Atlantic City FC
Cassidy
early on.
Tando
We see
in
another
the
one there.
57th minute.
Great hustle by Grippa, though, to get down there. He was able to stay on his feet. It was just a one-on-one with him and the goal. Could potentially saw a second Real Central New Jersey goal there. But now they have a great opportunity here.
Yeah, Tando was the one who is now entering the books, joining Matt Will, who is on the sidelines. And it looks as though Malelli, and he doesn't take that one. Porras Jr. loses possession, so Real Central unable to turn this set piece into something. And now another offsides call.
Another offsides for Atlantic City FC. Nick Matisse was right on the hip of the Atlantic City offensive player. It's Alex Lawrence there, who's chasing the ball for Atlantic City FC.
Up the middle, one of the new enterees, Daniel Gonzalez. Petke to Gonzalez.
Just trying to find space here if you're Atlantic City FC. So they get good center there. Matisse with the interception.
Well, Central again doing very well to get out of these jams.
Another reset offensively for Atlantic City FC. See how long Real Central can just keep making these defensive stands, disrupting this Atlantic City FC offense. So far, they're doing a great job. But we'll see how they'll fare once fatigue starts setting in these later minutes of the second half.
On the far side, it's McNamee. Splits defenders. But Jasper Cox, the recovery. And now it's McNamee who wins it back. Some back and forth action. Looks like he's also going to draw a foul.
McNamee flying to the ball there, as we've seen a lot of Atlantic City FC players just flying to the ball offensively and defensively. getting physical at the point of the ball. A lot of hand fighting we've seen early on, and continues into the second half.
So this one coming from the far side. Looks like this is a squad that favors in-swinging crosses. Seems though Andrew Heil will be the one to take this one. And it goes toward the near post. It's being contested. Bobbled around, and you got to give credit to Topher Kelly once again, rising to the occasion.
He's having a great game. Really fearless getting the ball. Catching at the point of contact, just like a wide receiver.
Grippa receives heavy contact once again. Tando better be careful on the yellow card.
And there's the physicality again from Atlantic City FC. But could eventually cost them. They want to lose a man, especially already losing the game 1-0.
Campbell. Campbell again. Plays it wide, a nice 1-2. Connor Campbell delivering some nice dribbles here. Played in by Grippa to the far side. No, the offsides flag is down. Campbell takes it now. Real Central looking dangerously here. A high cross. Zador trying to get to it. Tando defending. And finally, it's Ryan Maroney who gets on top of it.
Great hustle there by Maroney. Zador was just a step away from kicking that ball in. Maroney was able to dive on it. And we saw Jasper Cox have a great opportunity there as it was passed to him on the right side. Just couldn't get the right touch on it.
On the far side, Heil plays it in, looking for Gonzalez. Again, one of the substitutes.
Great job by Linden getting it out of there.
Wakacha charges in. Heil to Petke. Dylan Petke, pinpoint pass to Alex Lawrence. Alex Lawrence from LaSalle University. The other substitute for Atlantic City FC. This one played in by Gonzalez, cleared out. Now Zador. Numbers against him, but Zador's still going. But Wakacha with the shield.
He's able to body him out of there, get the ball back in Atlantic City FC possession.
Cassidy Tando,
Aggressive
Horace
tackle.
Jr. with a nice tackle. Some handsy action, nothing called. And one back again, Grippa to Harrington. Harrington clipped and loses possession. Cassidy Tando to Villaboy. Plays it out wide to the right wing. Here's Lawrence. Alex Lawrence, a quick pass. Gonzalez. Substitutes connecting. A little shove from
Letting that
Linden.
play.
Nothing called there. Probably a close one there, Brett.
I thought for sure that was going to be called, but apparently not. Gonzalez had an opportunity. If you looked behind him, there was an Atlantic City FC player. I believe it was Cassidy Tando. Gonzalez just tapped it backwards. Tando could have been there for a good opportunity to score, just didn't see it, and eventually got pushed over, and Linden took the ball back. Atlantic City FC makes a sub here. And we have a player down for Real Central.
Looks like we do, and some frustration, excuse me, starting to boil here as a lot of Atlantic City FC players want to talk with the head official.
Nathan Grippa.
Grippa the one down.
Dealing with a hamstring cramp, it looked like. Rowan Harrington had to help him stretch it out. It's that humid weather you mentioned before the game started. We saw Santiago Lopez leave the game early too. Maybe these cramps starting to have a real effect on all of these players.
And Harrington, the goal scorer, with a well-deserved rest as his day is done. He's ran. His time on the pitch has ran its course as Zach Perone enters for Real Central. And now it's Owen Sugra and Max Eichenbaum who enter for Atlantic City FC. And, you know, Evan Villeboy, one of the players exiting for Atlantic City FC, got to obviously credit him as well to his activity on the attack.
Certainly always around the ball. Plays great defense, always on the hip of whoever he's guarding.
And here comes Eichenbaum, the sub, using his fresh legs to contest Linden. Another Rowan product. Here's Sugra.
You can see Connor Campbell is down there a lot, using his speed. He's been chasing the ball in Atlantic City FC territories a lot so far in this second half as we approach the 65th minute of the game.
Eichenbaum plays it back. Sean Boyle. Played across field. Heil tried the turn,
There's the speed.
but a sweet interception. Played ahead as it was Campbell with the interception. Still with it is Real Central. Zador. Tipped out of play by Sean Boyle. Real Central again using the counterattack as their main source of attack.
Connor Campbell using his speed to disrupt the pass, kick it downfield. It's a great play. Zador was down there as well. And here's a good opportunity for a good offensive possession for Real Central New Jersey.
On the far side, Campbell. Owen Sugra there to once again be on the occasion. Sugra, a Stockton player, which is the home field of Atlantic City FC. And that one just offline. So now Lawrence on the far side for Atlantic City. Cleary. Across field for Cassidy Tando. Now Eichenbaum. Looking for something centrally. Plays it back for Cleary. Eichenbaum again. Goes right to left on the pitch.
Really stretching the field here.
And here's a long ball. Wakacha onside, but too big of a touch off the chest. That could have been a great opportunity, especially considering the offsides flag was down for once for Atlantic City FC.
Yeah, Wakacha had a great opportunity, but Topher Kelly once again having a great jump, great read on the ball, getting in front of it. But Atlantic City FC retains possession. As I say that,
Zador goes off his elbow. Fans pleading for a handball. Nothing called. Grippa can't find a red kit as it falls with Ryan Maroney.
Sean Boyle, whenever Real Central New Jersey's had those clears, those transitions, he's been in front of a lot of these passes, breaking it up. He's been a great, consistent player for Atlantic City FC defensively.
Another Real Central sub awaiting entry. But here's a nifty attack on the far side. Once again squandered. You're seeing so many of these opportunities for Atlantic City FC, they just can't seem to get shots on goal. Linden plays it back. Last touched by Atlantic City FC, so a goal kick, but right before that,
Your attention, please.
we will have, looks like Nicholas
Substitution for Real
Grippa
Central New Jersey in the 68th
will make
minute.
way.
Entering the game, number 24, Delano Shaw.
Delano Shaw, the
Number
entry
27,
for
Nick
Real Central.
Grippa.
Again, many substitutions coming in this second half. Real Central definitely wants some fresh legs on the pitch if they want to hold on to this 1-0 lead at the for the time being.
Certainly. And we saw Gripper go down with a little bit of a cramp in this second half. He's done a lot of running so far today, chasing the balls downfield. Got a good clear from Kelly.
Eichenbaum takes it away. Some backspin on this through ball. Lawrence. Linden does well and denies Lawrence of any attempt at net. Nearing the 70th minute. Not too much time left for Atlantic City FC, but still some time nevertheless. Nathan Linden again.
Don't want to get hasty and make any bad mistakes that'll end up costing you the lead. Just play smart. Don't be overly aggressive. Keep the ball out of the possession of Atlantic City FC.
Brought down by Tando. Bocacha now for Boyle. Nice flick by Garcia, or Gonzalez, excuse me. And another good recovery. That time, Zach Perone, who comes back defensively to make that play.
Another guy who came into the game for Real Central New Jersey as a sub, making an impact there.
Shugra. For Heil, plays it across field. Tando, another cross centrally, and Mileli is there. Zador.
Good touch.
Trying to break away from Boyle. Boyle holding on to him, still working, and it looks like we weren't the only ones who saw some tugging of the jersey.
Yeah, you can see as this game progresses, more than one Atlantic City FC defenders crowding the ball. We saw 3 on Sador just there. He was lucky to draw the penalty. Real Central New Jersey is able to retain possession, but once again, this is what Real Central needs to do. Just keep possession of the ball, control possession, keep it out of the clutches of Atlantic City FC, because at any moment, this explosive, high-powered offense for Atlantic City FC could just put the ball in goal and tie this game up.
Yeah, if you're Andrew Catalana, the head coach of Atlantic City FC, you gotta. This is probably below the expectations that your squad has shown so far through 4 matches, going 4 unbeaten, 4 wins to add on to that. But then again, Chris Cord and Ira Jersey, the coaches for Real Central, probably pleased. But we'll see if they can hold on. Atlantic City. Another attempt denied by Real Central. Wakancha charges in. Here comes the Real Central throw.
And you mentioned before the game started, they're 4-0. They're playing for the top seed in the conference right now. So they needed to bring their A game regardless of who their opponent was. But right now, Real Central has just been controlling this game. Atlantic City is going to have to go back to the way they were playing against their previous opponents.
It's a good mention, Brett, considering a 1-point lead in the Northeast Conference South Division for FC Monmouth, 1 point ahead of Atlantic City FC, also 1 point ahead of Atlantic City FC in the Northeast Conference itself. Real Central with 4 points in both the conference and the division, hoping to turn that 4 into 7, but they have to hold off Atlantic City FC. Here's the attempt. McNamee crosses it in. Once again, Real Central bending but not breaking. Boyle glides it toward the 18. Once again, headed back by Real Central. It's almost as if Real Central needs to do everything they can to find a cushion to score that second.
Yeah, I think we have yet to see one true Real Central New Jersey offensive possession in this second half. It's a good sign for the defense, but also you don't want your defensive players to get tired.
A timed run. Alex Lawrence has numbers in the box. Cross down the middle. Topher Kelly was there, and then the official clearance. A dangerous cross. Thankfully for Real Central, no one running in, but a dangerous one at that.
And despite Rowan Harrington scoring the goal for Real Central New Jersey, if I had an MVP, it would be Topher Kelly. He's been making a bunch of crazy saves, diving all over the box, intercepting passes, getting it out of there. His defense has had his back as well, as we see Nick Matisse and Linden just playing lights out defense against this Atlantic City FC offense. See if they continue it here.
Absolutely, they've been stellar so far today, and as Cassidy Tando for Atlantic City FC makes his way toward the bench, and entering for them, Justin Chekanecchio. Cleary decides to take his space, still going ahead. Keeping possession, Cleary atop the 18. Tried to heel it backward, just couldn't find a white kit. Connor Campbell plays it ahead as Wakancha takes over. Wakancha pacing down the left wing, still going until it's tipped by Chris Turnbull, who intervenes.
It's a great find there. Connor Campbell getting the ball downfield. See a Real Central player lining up to get subbed in after this new Atlantic City FC offensive possession.
Shugra plays it for Heil. Heil has to run towards that through ball. Now Lawrence goes centrally. Here's a low attempt. And it's easy pickings for the keeper and Topher Kelly.
Topher Kelly doing a lot of communicating from that goalkeeper position, directing his defense, keeping his guys' heads on the swivel.
Played wide as we're now past 75 minutes of play. And now will be the time we see another Real Central kit make his mark on this match. This time it's
Your attention, please.
going to be Reed Sveiben.
Substitution for Real Central New Jersey in the
And Wawan
76th
Zador,
minute.
who has been everywhere on the attack,
Entering
will
the
be
booth,
exiting.
Number 8.
Yeah, we've seen him
Reed Sveiben.
sprinting, streaking into the
Replacing
Atlantic City
number 23,
FC territory
Wawan
every time
Zador.
Real Central New Jersey has had a chance at an offensive possession, and he was the one who assisted the goal to Rowan Arrington in the first half. Just great hustle from him. He's played a great game today.
Nearly the entirety of Real Central New Jersey's attack replaced Harrington, Zador, and Ibrahim Faye, the front three, and now it's completely changed since the start of this match. Chris Cord and Ira Jersey putting fresh legs on the pitch to defend a 1-0 advantage. But it's going to be tough to hold off this Atlantic City side. McNamee. Back for Andrew Heil. A driven ball for Shugra. Plays it in. Looking for McNamee, and Topher Kelly plays receiver.
Wasn't called offsides, but Atlantic City FC just couldn't set up a good through ball.
A squandered opportunity. Here's another attempt at net. Topher Kelly. A brick wall in net for Real Central. Denies Alex Lawrence.
Certainly having his best game of the season. That looked like a surefire goal for Atlantic City FC. I mean, it was a point-blank shot, but Topher Kelly played aggressive, came out a good 10 meters out of the goal to deflect that pass out of bounds.
Probably the best attempt you'll see, or we have seen so far from Atlantic City. First one on goal in a while, and Topher Kelly on the occasion.
Yeah, a lot of Atlantic City FC shots have been going over or around the goal.
But that was exactly when you need your keeper to step up as it got through your final line of defense. Real Central has done well to make sure that it doesn't get through, but Atlantic City FC now with another chance here. They might play it short, and they do. Here's Chekanekio. Shugra for Andrew Heil, who has been versatile in the midfield and on the attack. Wakancha, a nice turn. Finds Eichenbaum wide. Here's the 1-2, a nice through ball. Wakancha chips it far post. The header goes over the netting.
That was a great play by Chris Turnbull there. He sensed the Atlantic City FC offensive player coming in to head the ball, but he showed no fear getting up into the air, taking the contact, getting it out of the field of play. Another great stand defensively for Real Central New Jersey.
And again, it was on the header there, Alex Lawrence, who, I mean, he's come on as a sub and immediately is making an impact. You're seeing it, but the chances he's developing. 1-0 Real Central. The goal and near the half-hour mark of this match as Lawrence chases after. Once again taken away by Topher Kelly.
Came really far out of the goal there to get that one.
Alex Lawrence has done well since Aiden Donnelly's exit, and we know Aiden Donnelly was very a
Very
threat in the box.
involved.
Yeah, absolutely. Delano Shaw couldn't advance as there was a little too much contact.
Yeah, physicality once again showing there. Refs let it play in the first half, but they're seeming to call it a little bit more here in the second.
A nice feed across the field. McNamee. His cross denied or deflected by Connor Campbell. Here's Daniel Gonzalez. Plays it inside for Heil. Heil, some heavy pressure, and it's taken back by Zach Perrone. And another clearance. At this point, it's quite evident Real Central's trying to park the bus in this match. 80th minute of play now.
Yeah, and so far it's definitely been working. I mean, Atlantic City FC's had their fair share of opportunities, but great defense and great goalkeeping has just kept the ball out.
Chekanekio. His pass miscalculated. Reed Sveiben, the one who intercepted it, as Chekanekio has to tip it out of play. And Nathan Linden, his time is up as Evan Homily will enter for Real Central New Jersey.
Nathan Linden's played a great game defensively so far. Him and those two other Real Central New Jersey defenders. He's been all over the ball defensively, clearing it. But we're entering the 81st minute now. Need to get some fresh legs in there defensively. And the way this game is going, Real Central's just clearing the ball out again and again, resetting Atlantic City FC offensively. And that's probably how this game is going to end, with Atlantic City FC having the ball in Real Central territory.
It's a good mention, Brett. Fresh legs seems to be the priority for head coach Chris Corridan and assistant Ira Jersey. Strategic substitutions.
Linden, the first of those three defenders for Real Central to go off field. We've still got Chris Turnbull and Nick Matisse in there.
And obviously Santiago Lopez, losing him was huge, but they've done well without him, for sure. Enrique Porras Jr. has been at the right place at the right time on numerous instances. Atlantic City FC, though, still doing everything they can to make sure this game isn't done yet. Gonzalez goes down, tripped up by Dresper Cox. And we'll have to check on one of the Atlantic City FC players. Seems to be Alex Lawrence, the one down.
Very physical play there. We saw downfield. And
Yeah, and it
here
looks
come the trainers.
Yeah, Lawrence definitely seems shaken up. And not a good sign considering he's been one of your better substitutions, your better additions to this match. He had that shot inside the 18 not too long ago that was probably Atlantic City's best opportunity of the match that Topher Kelly was able to stand tall against.
Yeah, definitely. Atlantic City FC has not been shy about shooting the ball whenever they get the smallest of windows. As you just mentioned, taking advantage of any opportunity they can. And they're going to have to, because this game we're winding down. The time's winding down. They're going to need to start putting the ball more on target.
It almost seems like Alex Lawrence is asking for the substitution.
We're going to see who Atlantic City FC puts in here offensively, because they need all the firepower they can get. We got under 7 minutes left to go in this game.
He's asking for it. We'll see if there's anyone that can replace him on the pitch here. Because right now, Atlantic City FC.
So you have to send a player out there.
Yeah, they do. They do only have 10 men on the pitch.
That's something you don't want when you're behind.
It seems as if someone's getting fitted right now on the far touchline for Atlantic City FC. We'll see who this is. And we do have our new addition for Atlantic City FC, Owen Edwards from Stockton.
Substitution for Atlantic City FC.
Another
in the 84th
Stockton
minute.
Osprey entering the match for Atlantic City FC. In comes the
Entering the pitch,
set piece
number 18,
at last from
Owen Edwards.
Andrew Heil, but it's
For number 11,
cleared out.
Alex Lawrence.
You can see Atlantic City FC, quick throw in there, going fast. Time's winding down. They're going to have to make something happen. But Real Central's just a brick wall defensively.
And this one from Heil, and you can just see it in his expression, not the desired outcome of that delivery. And Topher Kelly, once again, with what he's been given, he's delivered.
Speaking of a brick wall.
But Atlantic City FC, as you mentioned, not a lot of time left. 85th minute plus what we will assume will be some decent stoppage time considering the injuries that have occurred in this half. And we hope all players are all right at the end of the day and at the conclusion of this match.
Yeah, we might be looking at 2-3 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this game. Atlantic City FC is going to have to take advantage of that.
Wakancha has Sugar out wide, plays it there. Plays it ahead. Here's the substitute. A heavy tackle. And they're going to say all ball, corner kick, as it was Enrique Porras Jr. once again stepping up for Real Central.
Porras Jr., another defender who's been all over the ball defensively. Great hustle play, great slide tackle. Even though it's a corner kick, we've seen Real Central New Jersey standing tall against these. We're going to have to do it again. Just clinging on to a 1-goal lead.
Luke McNamee once again is going to take this corner. The in-swinger goes far post. The header off the woodwork. And we're going to have a goal kick. Oh, man, flying in. It was Ryan Cleary. And you could just see in his expression, he wants a rewind on that play.
We've seen Cleary get up and get those headers along with Donnelly throughout this entire game, and having no fear getting into the air. And that looked like it was going to be a goal. Topher Kelly couldn't get over to the right side of the goal in time.
Let's get another look at this one, folks. As you'll see on the corner, I mean, look at the beautiful ball just off the woodwork, the left post. Ryan Cleary made a great run inside, but Topher Kelly, his best friend, the post, had something to say about that shot.
He's been having a great game, but a little look never hurt anyone.
Andrew Heil sends it in once again, and the offsides flag is up. It looks like it was either Cleary or Heil that were offside. But time continuing the wind down, but again, we got to go back to that Alex Lawrence shot at one-on-one with Topher Kelly, along with that header just recently from Ryan Cleary. Those were the two chances Atlantic City FC had to equalize.
A little back and forth here. New Jersey, Real Central New Jersey, I don't believe has had a solid offensive possession yet this game in Atlantic City FC territory. As they get the ball right back, Real Central just gets back on defense as they've done throughout this entire second half.
And you definitely make lots of sense there, Brett, because at the end of the day, defense is usually what wins you a tight game like this. And McNamee unable to get enough bend on this cross. Topher Kelly once again, right place, right time. But in a tight match like this where you're holding on to a lead, it's huge to be sound defensively, and Real Central probably one of the better defensive performances we've seen from them all season.
Especially against a team that's been scoring left and right throughout their entire season and has been 4-0.
Oh, and Enrique Porras Jr. You can see the energy he brings to that left back position. The sliding tackle to deny Wakancha of a cross. But here comes another corner. We know what happened the last time they had a corner on the near side.
It's definitely going to have to be a little more attentive here if you're Topher Kelly. Can't stand so far to that right post. He's definitely looking for that header. Cleary's been known to be getting up there, number 4 for Atlantic City FC.
In comes the delivery. McNamee sends this one afar.
And that is not what you want if you're Atlantic City FC.
McNamee absolutely has a strong and creative left foot. Just offline on a few of these chances that they've had, whereas we are now in the 89th minute. We have received word the approximate stoppage time will be 4 minutes of added time, which is a decent amount for Atlantic City FC to maybe find one last grasp of air in this match. Eichenbaum. Out wide, pressured by Reed Spiven. Wakancha scorpion kicks. Gonzalez trying to chase. And it's off of him last. And now we're being told 5 minutes the added time. So that's only going to help Atlantic City FC's case.
Yeah, certainly. And right now, all we're seeing Real Central New Jersey do is just once they get the ball, they clear it out. Atlantic City tries to score again. They don't. Real Central clears it out. It's been the pattern so far this second half. It's more prominent now than ever as we go into this stoppage time.
A free kick awarded for Atlantic City FC. We'll see if they take it quickly. It looks like they won't play quickly, but they will play it short. Owen Shugra. Owen Edwards, that was. A nice turn, Andrew Heil.
Your attention, please.
Glides it into the 18 on the far side, headed towards centrally.
At least 5 minutes of
Oh
added
man,
time
it's
in
being
the
batted
second
around.
half.
Owen Edwards can't get a nice shot on it. And Jasper Cox finally clears it out. The ball was everywhere in the box except the back of the net.
Another hold your breath moment for Real Central there. The ball was up in the air for a total, I think, 7 seconds. You would think Cleary would be one of the ones to go up and head the ball in, but luckily enough for Real Central, they were able to kick it out of there.
Can't help but notice Brett Ryan Cleary, the typical center back, playing ahead as he heads it into the 6. Topher Kelly gets a deflection on it, and it's cleared out once more. We are officially in stoppage time. The crowd is into it as it's played ahead.
Shaw chasing.
Shaw tried to catch the keeper off guard, but Ryan Maroney was ready. Now here's Sugar again.
This is valuable time for Real Central to reset defensively, catch their breath a little bit.
This is everything you ask for on a beautiful night like this here in Mercer County Community College at MCCC Soccer Stadium. It's Gonzalez who slips in that last previous moment. The throw from Porras. Chakanakio there. Headed back for Eichenbaum. Eichenbaum, eyes towards goal. An ambitious try is gathering it on a bounce. It's once again Topher Kelly.
Topher Kelly there again. Nothing seems to be getting past him so far this game. And what?
And it looks like we may have had a missed call earlier, as it's now all of a sudden a corner. A goalkeeper violation, I believe, is the call. Maybe holding onto the ball too long.
Well, regardless, this is another great Atlantic City FC opportunity. 7th goal, corner kick.
McNamee sends it in. Far post. The header offline from the defender. And Sean Boyle.
Sean Boyle, another very tall player for Atlantic City FC. Tried to get the header in there, just wide left. Another shot that just couldn't seem to be on target for Atlantic City FC. Another theme that carries with the team throughout this game.
And you got to wonder if they're
Is that another
the
delay?
yellow card shown to Topher Kelly for taking too much time off the clock. Maybe taking. They want him to not take his sweet time, rather get the ball back in play to give Atlantic City FC a fair shot.
And the clock is not moving here on the scoreboard.
To Real Central New Jersey.
I don't know if that's a technical
Number
issue,
0, Topher Kelly. It's stoppage time of our second half.
We're still within 5 minutes of stoppage time. You got to think maybe 2 or 3 of those minutes have already gone by.
I think maybe those delays were strategic by Real Central, just trying to milk the clock right now.
Sugra was looking for that bottom left corner. Topher Kelly once again ready, but again, you don't want to take your time, especially considering it's been called twice and now you've been awarded, or not necessarily awarded, but cautioned a yellow.
And that's the thing. That's the one thing you want to do if you're Real Central is just take your time. But they have the ball now. Here's the throw-in.
About a minute left. Real Central now in the attack. They haven't been in the attacking third much in this second half, but they are there now. On the far corner.
He's just kicking the
Perone.
ball away.
He'll waste time the legal way.
Here's the
And
keeper.
charging after it, Ryan Maroney.
They got to really move here. A lot of time has gone by. You'd think we're within a minute of this game ending.
Boyle takes his space. A driven ball ahead, headed back by Homily.
Huge header.
Cox plays it down to the corner. And they are going to call the offside. Ryan Maroney was pleading for it, and he did get it. This helps Atlantic City FC mightily, considering they're now positioned further ahead. Owen Edwards plays it wide. Wakacha on the right wing. Atlantic FC doing everything they can to find an equalizer to come away with a point. And that will do it. The statement of all statements. Real Central New Jersey, they steal a win. 3 points away from unbeaten Atlantic City FC. 1-0 the final.
Real Central New Jersey fans, exhale, take a deep breath. The game is over. If we had the time of possession clock, I believe Atlantic City FC played that entire second half on offense. Real Central only now just getting the ball at the end of the game on offense. They weren't even trying to possess it. They were just trying to keep it out of Atlantic City FC possession. But overall, just an outstanding game defensively. And I just have to highlight Topher Kelly, who's I think made over 10 saves this game. Just been a stalwart in that goal. Saving the ball, intercepting passes, directing his defenders like Nick Matisse, Chris Tumble. It was just an outstanding effort all around from Real Central. And the one offensive opportunity they got in this game, Zadora passed the ball out to Rowan Harrington, who scored the goal against FC Monmouth. Gave them the lead in this game, 1-0. They held on to that lead throughout the rest of the game. Great effort there. They didn't have it. They came into this game not expected to win against a high-powered team like Atlantic City FC, but they proved everyone wrong. Atlantic City FC couldn't match their fire. Real Central New Jersey walks out with the W.
And you mentioned it there. The goal will go for Rowan Harrington, but the unsung heroes, the back line of Real Central and the keeper, Topher Kelly, holding firm, standing strong against a high-powered Atlantic City FC attack. They get the clean sheet. Topher Kelly gets a clean sheet.
Big goose egg.
And Atlantic City lose their first match in the league for clubs this season. Real Central get now 7 points in the Northeast Conference South Division, as they're now 2-1-3, a huge result, and one that you gotta hope for Chris Corridon and Ira Jersey and company will translate into future matches. But that will do it for tonight's the League for Clubs matchup, this Northeast Conference Division matchup, South Division that is. I'm Gerasimus Gervasilio alongside Brett Gardner. 1-0, your final here from Mercer County Community College.
Brought to you by Praxis Sports, the unified platform helping sports organizations manage communication, scheduling, and operations in one place. Learn more at praxisports.com.
There's a leisurely lunch with friends. And then there's a 7-course gourmet tasting lunch with 7 perfect wine pairings aboard a fully restored 1915 Pullman rail car as it floats past rolling hills and rows of vines stretching out as far as the eye can see. Napa Valley. Live a little, or a lot.
Brought to you by Praxis Sports, the unified platform helping sports organizations manage communication, scheduling, and operations in one place. Learn more at praxisports.com.
There's a leisurely lunch with friends. And then there's a 7-course gourmet tasting lunch with 7 perfect wine pairings aboard a fully restored 1915 Pullman rail car as it floats past rolling hills and rows of vines stretching out as far as the eye can see. Napa Valley. Live a little, or a lot.
Brought to you by Praxis Sports, the unified platform helping sports organizations manage communication, scheduling, and operations in one place. Learn more at praxisports.com.
There's a leisurely lunch with friends. And then there's a 7-course gourmet tasting lunch with 7 perfect wine pairings aboard a fully restored 1915 Pullman rail car as it floats past rolling hills and rows of vines stretching out as far as the eye can see. Napa Valley. Live a little, or a lot.